We're still doing translations, but today instead of vector notation, we're going to switch to what's called rule notation. Before we do that, we need to talk about two vocab words, image and pre-image. Image is the picture of something after it has been transformed. So the image is after transformation. Pre-image is what comes before the transformation. The prefix pre simply means before, so pre-image is before the image. In other words, that's what you have to start with. So our question here says, translate triangle PQR with vertices that are given by these 3 points. Here we have our rule notation. It says by the rule. Now this arrow right here, you'll see in future sections, this means transforms to. Transforms to. So when we read this off, we read the point xy transforms to x plus 3, y minus 1. That simply means whatever the x value was before, we add 3 to it, and whatever the y value was before, we're going to subtract 1 from it. All right, let's take a look at the triangle over here. So I've drawn triangle PQR. Each point has an x and a y value. For the x values, we're going to add 3. If we add 3 to this x value, which is 2 right now, that's going to move it 1, 2, 3 in this direction. So that moves it to the right 3. That's going to happen with all 3 of these. So we're going to add 3 to the x value on Q, 1, 2, 3. We're going to add 3 to the x value for R, 1, 2, 3. And you can see that that moves the whole triangle 3 spaces to the right. Now we're going to take care of the y value, which we saw was to subtract 1 from it. If I subtract 1 from the y value, it moves it down 1, and down 1, and down 1. When we take those 2 things together, we see that this point has moved to the right and down for R, and to the right and down for Q. That gives us 3 points right here that we're going to connect and create our new triangle. So you can see that this triangle has moved 3 to the right and down 1. Just reviewing, the notation right here says the x value added 3, that moves it 3 to the right. The y value subtracts 1, that moves it 1 down. The points are going to be named P prime, R prime, and Q prime. So when you see the prime notation, that tells you that that is the image. It's what came after the transformation, and without the prime is the pre-image. Our next task, we're going to take 2 triangles that have been translated, and we're going to write a rule for it. So we can see LMN, this is the pre-image because there are no primes on it. L prime, M prime, and N prime is the image because there are the prime notation. You can also see the arrow pointing from one triangle to the other. All right, so let's trace the path out. This looks like this went left 1 and down 1, 2, 3. Left 1 and down 1, 2, 3. Left 1 and down 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have our x and our y values. The x value went to the left 1. That means we subtracted 1 from the x value. So we get x minus 1 for our rule there. The y value went down 3. That means we subtracted 3 from the y value. So we get y minus 3, and that's our notation. So just pay attention. Did you subtract or add to the x value? Did you subtract or add to the y value? And do so in the notation right here. For this last example problem, we are doing what is called compositions of transformations. A composition is simply multiple transformations done to the same object. In this case, we are going to do 2 translations given by the rule xy translates to x plus 5, y plus 2. And then we're going to do a second translation, xy translates to x minus 2, y plus 1. We are not going to do these all at once. We're going to do them one at a time. So the first one, xy translates to x plus 5, y plus 2, means that our x value is going to the right 5 and our y value is going to go up 2. So we'll do those two parts separately. We're going to go to the right 5, followed by a vertical translation up 2 units. So there's our new triangle. The points A, B, and C have become A prime, B prime, and C prime. Next, we need to take this triangle that we just created, and we're going to translate it a second time, given by the rule xy translates to x minus 2, y plus 1. So x minus 2 means that we are going to translate 2 units to the left. So here's that translation, 2 units to the left. And y plus 1 means we are going to go 1 unit up. So here is that translation, 1 unit up. And now we need to name our 3 points. Now, since this is the second transformation, we are going to name A prime, A double prime. Those 2 apostrophes right there, where we have A with an apostrophe and a second apostrophe, means that it's the second time we have translated it. B prime becomes B prime prime, or B double prime, and C prime becomes C prime prime, or C double prime. Thank you.